Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to my Blu-ray haul for September through December 2022. And this isn't even everything. Let's get to it.
It's morphin' time!
So naturally, like always, we're starting with the things I've already done videos on. So the Star Trek The Motion Picture Director's Edition Complete Adventure got its own separate review video. And the Star Trek Original Motion Picture 6-movie 4K collection was included in my How Many Times Do I Own the Original Star Trek Movies video. So check those out if you haven't. Mill Creek went pretty hard this fall with Ultraman releases with Cosmos, Nexus, Zay-Earth, and Neos, which were all featured in a single video together. So check that one out if you haven't already. I reviewed Discotek Media's Space Sheriff Gava on Blu-ray, which I asked the question, is it the best tokusatsu release of 2022? And you'll have to watch that video to find that answer. I also reviewed Shout Factory's Kamen Rider Kuuga Blu-ray as part of a video about Kamen Rider's messy licensing. Somehow, Super Sentai DVDs returned with Fiveman and Abaranger, and these will be getting a dedicated video in the very near future, like in a week or so. These are going to get their own video because there's a lot to talk about and unpack with those. And then lastly, Mill Creek's Ultraman Kids 3 Million Light Years in Search of Mother DVD set will get reviewed and discussed along with Ultraman Max in January after Max comes out. So stay tuned for that one in the future as well. So our first category of the haul of things I haven't talked about before would be movies. Now movies, usually a smaller subject, but this time there was a lot of sales. First of all, I saw The Bad Guys on Netflix. Yes, it took me all the way till Netflix to watch this wonderful movie, but it's absolutely a great film. It reminds me a lot of Lupin III, which was very intentional, and I really enjoyed it. So of course I had to get the Blu-ray. And luckily I got the Blu-ray on sale, but yeah, The Bad Guys, great release, includes a lot of good bonus features, which is nice to see considering modern film releases usually don't have that much, but there's actually quite a good amount of content on the discs, which is really awesome. Just in time for Christmas, a 4K of It's a Wonderful Life. Also, I ran out of time this year to watch it, so, you know, tell me in the comments if that's a bad thing. But It's a Wonderful Life, got a 4K. It looks pretty good. It is an upgrade over the Blu-ray edition. I figured this movie gets watched enough in the household. Yeah, it should get a Blu-ray. John Carpenter's The Thing. Picked this one up for like a good $10. So this is a movie I actually didn't own on Blu-ray. Last time my family owned it was on DVD. So, you know, good upgrade, 4K Blu-ray. Lots of great stuff there. Here we have the Kino Lorber releases of Support Your Local Sheriff and Support Your Local Gunfighter, two of my mom's favorite movies. She was wondering if we had them on Blu-ray, and I was like, no, we don't. And then she was like, I really want to watch them, so we bought the Blu-rays. That's sometimes how Blu-ray pickups go. It's like, oh, hey, here's a movie that I haven't watched in a long time that I liked, and I just never got it on an upgraded disc, but here they are. A classic, Singin' in the Rain, this time on its 70th anniversary 4K release. Again, a nice upgrade, I think, overall. Warner Brothers usually does pretty good with their 4Ks. But yeah, it's a nice upgrade to a movie that gets watched a lot, so, you know, it's kind of worth having the best edition possible on. Another sale pickup, Jaws. Really do think that I actually haven't owned Jaws since the DVD. Iconic film. Studied this one deeply in film school, actually. So I really like having it. The Universal transfer for the 4K seems pretty good. Overall, it is an upgrade, of course, to my old DVD. But yeah, you know, pretty solid release, but something I hadn't thought about until I was like on a sale and I was like, oh, $10? Yeah. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the classic martial arts film. This is a movie that, gosh, I think I saw it back when it first came out, but I honestly wanted to come back to it, especially because it's got Michelle Yeoh in it, and I love Michelle Yeoh. So, you know, it's always a win. But it's a very nice presentation. It's a Sony Pictures Classics release. It's a pretty solid release overall, especially for the $10 I paid for it. Groundhog Day. This is a classic comedy that I watch every year on Groundhog Day. So, of course, getting a 4K seems about right to pick up this movie. Hadn't done it before. Didn't even realize a 4K existed, to be honest. But yeah, it's a Sony release. So Sony 4K's pretty good since they're kind of the pioneers of the Blu-ray format. But honestly, really nice release and a nice upgrade to the Blu-ray I had previously. Hey guys, E.T.'s 40 years old. I didn't realize it was that old either. There was a nice new steelbook released for the new anniversary release of the 4K. I don't remember if this is different than the previous one. I want to say this 40 years of E.T. is a new thing. So it does seem like it's got new bonus features. I don't know if the transfer's any different, but Universal put this out for the 40th of E.T. And I got the steelbook for like $17 at release. So yeah, definitely a win-win. Arsenic and Old Lace, an old Frank Capra comedy about two ladies that end up killing a lot of guys. There is a lot of murder in this movie, but it's hilarious. It's honestly just such a great classic film. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. This new Criterion release is really nice. It's a perfect Halloween movie. If you're looking for a Halloween movie that maybe isn't part of the classic traditional horror stuff, definitely try this one out. Watched it for Halloween this year. Excellent, excellent time. And this Criterion Collection release of it is pretty solid. It even has bonus features, which, considering how old the film is pretty impressive. There's definitely stuff on here, including an audio commentary, which is actually, an author of a history book for the movie, which is the great way to do commentaries for these movies where the principal cast and creatives have long passed. 2001: A Space Odyssey, another movie I was like, oh, wow, don't have a Blu-ray of that. See, the thing is, with having collected DVDs so heavily, a lot of these movies never went back and upgraded them. Anyways, this is the 4K. Once again, got it for like $10. Warner Brothers 4Ks, usually pretty good. So yeah, 2001: A Space Odyssey, another classic. To Kill a Mockingbird received a 60th anniversary 4K release, which this one's actually a little bit nicer because it's not just, oh hey, here's your 4K, which is a great transfer of the film. They also put out this limited edition set that has some bonuses, like a good old film cell recreation here. Kind of the idea of like, look, it's a piece of the film reel, except it's way too big to be a piece of film. You also got this cool booklet that's got some images from filming, script excerpts, storyboards, posters, that sort of thing. And then we also have, some different posters on these art cards. So pretty cool stuff. It's nice to get a 4K set that isn't some gigantic rectangle, because that's like kind of what Blu-rays were doing for a while. This is a nice, hey, we're going to like plus up your release so it still fits on your normal shelf, but you got some extra bonuses to it. Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons. Surprisingly, the only DC release I have picked up in the September to December timeframe. No spine art because it's not part of the universe that has spine art, so that's nice because I don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, the next DC movie has spine art, and yeah, the Blu-ray and 4K are different. We'll talk about that one in the next Blu-ray haul. Blade Runner 2049. I actually haven't seen this. I still haven't. I was like, I love Blade Runner, the first one. Have not watched the sequel yet. I've heard it's really good, and I want to go to watching it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But hey, $10 Blu-ray, and it includes the prologue shorts, including the blackout one that is an anime style. Yeah, you know what? That sounds like a pretty solid release. When I want to dive into Blade Runner, which probably will happen in the near future, I got everything on Blu-ray at this point, minus Black Lotus, I think, which is the show. But other than that, Blade Runner is available to me to watch, which is awesome. Galaxy Quest, the Star Trek movie that's not a Star Trek movie. It's a fun film. If you've never seen this and you love Star Trek, you gotta watch it. It's pretty much a sort of spoof of Star Trek made by Paramount, so it's, made by the people that make Star Trek. I love this movie. It's never gotten a really fantastic release. This Blu-ray is probably the best we're going to get. There is, been talk that in the original theatrical release, there's a scene where Sigourney Weaver drops an F-bomb that's been cut from all home releases, and it's kind of a shame we never gotten the restoration on that, for film preservation-ness. But there is, this is a pretty solid release for what it is, and it's got some good bonus features. And until they release a, 4K, which maybe have the, full original version, this is probably the best we're going to get. So if you can get it on sale, definitely a worthy Blu-ray for this movie. Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind. This is the newest Mortal Kombat animated movie, which I haven't watched yet. I've been busy with videos and stuff. Month of Monsters took a lot out of me. Anyways, the next one, Kenshi's the main character, which is a nice change of pace, because usually Kenshi doesn't get to be the main character of anything Mortal Kombat, so that's exciting. King Kong 1933 on a new Blu-ray, which is pretty much just a re-release of the old Blu-ray, one I never picked up, but decided to get it now, and it was released through Warner Archive, which is something I wish wasn't so dead in the water at the moment. But hey, King Kong, and I like that it put 1933 on the side, because when I put it with the other King Kongs, you don't have to question which one this is. The Addams Family. Just in time for Wednesday on Netflix and just in time for Halloween, Universal re-released their 4K More Manushka version. Sorry, Paramount, not Universal. The More Manushka version, which includes an extended dance number that was previously not in the film in its full length, is now on this new 4K. And I was going to buy the standard release that came out last year, didn't get around to it, and then they're like, hey, Steelbook. And I was like, yeah, sure, Steelbook. It looks nice. It's purple. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from Shout on 4K. Now, this actually had a 4K internationally, and I was going to import the international one because it's been a couple years. They put out that 4K in time for Face the Music. I love the Bill and Ted movies, and I was like, well, there's a 4K, I should import it. And right as I was about to import it, Shout announced that they're finally bringing it over. So this is the same transfer as the international release. It has some of the bonus features that were pretty much on the DVD in the previous Shout Blu-ray. But it's nothing too fancy. It is just the 4K disc. So if you still have that 2-pack of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey from Shout, this is going to be a nice 4K upgrade to at least Excellent Adventure, and hopefully, Face the Music as well as Bogus Journey get 4Ks, because those didn't get those yet over here. But at least we got Excellent Adventure released on a nice 4K. This last thing isn't new or on sale, but this is the 50 Years of Planet of the Apes. I've never been a big Apes fan. I've thought about it. I've seen the first movie and I saw the Tim Burton reboot film. And I was hearing recently about how this, the previous incarnation of this box set was actually the way that an extended version of one of the movies was found, like it was lost media until then. So that was pretty cool. And then I found that this set was like $45 and you get all the Planet of the Apes movies so far. And I was like, cool, I'll dive into this at some point. So it's got all the original Apes movies on Blu-ray, the Tim Burton 2001 Apes movie on Blu-ray, and then the Blu-ray and 4Ks of the Matt Reeves trilogy, which is pretty neat. It's in a giant box. I don't know if it need to be this big, but it is a lot of discs, which is pretty cool. And to top it all off, it's got, of course, a nice little bonus. It's got some collector cards included. This release is kind of old. It came out, I think, in like 2018 or something like that, since it is the 50th anniversary set. See, we got some different posters of the Planet of the Apes. It's just the movies, none of the TV shows, but we have the TV shows from a previous DVD release that came in a giant ape head. So pretty cool stuff. And it was funny because after I bought this, they announced that they're doing another Planet of the Apes movie. So I'll dive into Planet of the Apes at some point, but I thought, hey, multiple cuts of movies, different versions of things, that's kind of my jam. And I should check out this franchise that's been going on for a long time. So next segment, let's talk about Disney, because, well, they're a segment onto their own at this point. I am a big Disney fan. So this time, only a couple things. We got Enchanted on Blu-ray. Disenchanted came out on Disney Plus, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't have Enchanted on Blu-ray, which is a mistake. I love this movie. It's a wonderful, terrific princess from a fairy tale brought into the real world, and chaos ensues, and really, really catchy songs. So anyways, Enchanted was a good one. And then to go alongside that, I ordered the Rescuers 2 movie collection, just kind of filling out the Disney animation library the best I can. Always nice to have physical backups of things. And this includes both Rescuers movies, which is pretty nice. A new release, Lightyear. I liked it enough to get it on Blu-ray. Not a perfect movie by any means. I think there was some missteps here and there, but I did enjoy the animation quality. I thought it was kind of gorgeous. So I ended up picking up the Blu-ray for it. Of course, Marvel fan, so I'm going to get Thor Love and Thunder on Blu-ray. I need to watch this movie again before really judging it, because I enjoyed it the first time I watched it, but then I've thought about some stuff on it, and then I've learned some stuff about it. I need to figure out if I actually enjoy the final product or not. It's kind of a strange movie. Personally speaking, I would have split this movie in two. I think the Gore the God Butcher stuff and doing Jane as Mighty Thor was a little too much for one movie. Maybe splitting it in half would have been a good choice, but that wasn't a decision that I have any say in. It's just how I would have done it personally. And then lastly, I want to talk about Disney Movie Club, because I have had Black Widow since it came out, and I actually ordered Black Widow through Disney Movie Club. And recently, I was watching Black Widow as part of a MCU continuity order thing I'm doing, where I'm watching all the TV shows. And with Black Widow, I went to watch it, and the movie froze a couple times, because the 4K disc actually had a scratch on it. And it was under the scratch-resistant protective layer, so that was a manufacturing error. And I was kind of bummed out, because I was like, man, now I got to buy another Black Widow Blu-ray. And this is a movie where I watched it the second time and enjoyed it way more than I did the first time. But the thing is, I was like, man, do I have to buy another Black Widow Blu-ray? Then I found out, because I'm a super VIP on Disney Movie Club, I guess because I buy all this stuff from them, I can actually just get a replacement in the mail if I call and request it. So I called and requested. I said, hey, my disc was scratched. Can I get a replacement on Black Widow? And they're like, sure. So apparently I can do that 5 times a year. Basically, if it's something I ordered through Disney Movie Club isn't, working, or if it has a scratch, I can replace it, which is pretty nice. So now I just have this other Black Widow copy with bad disc freezes sticky noted to it. Let's see if I can get it on camera. It's kind of hard to tell because it's so faint, but it's so problematic. There it is right there. It's just along here. It's hard to tell, but anyways, it causes the movie to freeze in 2 different places. So that's no good, right? So now I got a brand new Blu-ray 4K. The Blu-ray disc was fine. It's the 4K, but it doesn't freeze in those spots, so that's a good thing. Anyways, Disney Movie Club, pretty good if you're buying Disney stuff all the time. I should talk more about that later. In random TV releases, we have the Munsters complete series. Didn't know I didn't have the complete Munsters series, but I do now. It was on sale for like 16 bucks. I watched Rob Zombie's The Munsters movie this year, and my reaction was, ooh, I should go buy the original Munsters. Not necessarily I should go buy the Rob Zombie Munsters Blu-ray. I probably will end up with that at some point, because that movie is fascinatingly bad. Because the thing is, the Rob Zombie Munsters movie is bad, but you can tell it's made from a fan of the Munsters who had like no budget to work with and just had to roll the dice. And I kind of appreciate that. But anyways, Munsters set here. It's got the pilot episode. It's got Family Portrait in full color. It's got 4 documentaries about the Munsters, as well as the 2 reunion movies, Munster Go Home and Munster's Revenge. So pretty good. It's got everything except for like the Easter special, which is released by some other company for whatever reason. But yeah, if you see this thing floating around for like 20 bucks and you want the entire Munsters series, go for it. It's a pretty good set. Let's talk Star Trek. First of all, Star Trek Picard Season 2 came out on Blu-ray. There was a standard edition and a steelbook. This steelbook edition's pretty nice. It's a 3-disc set. I do like it. It's a little plainer than I thought it would be. It's fine, and it makes a nice companion to the Season 1 Star Trek Picard steelbook. So you can see there, you know, not exactly an exact fit, but like the CBS logo is roughly the same spot. They look pretty nice on the shelf together, honestly. It's 2 nice sets, and I hope that Season 3 receives a steelbook as well to make it a nice set. Now to complain. So I got notes. I was very upset when this happened, to be honest, and I complained about it on Twitter. So you may know where this is going. So for Star Trek Discovery, this is how I've been collecting the sets. So for Season 1 and Season 2, the steelbook editions were Best Buy exclusives, and so I have the standard releases, which have these cool like opening image flaps. The reason why is because I didn't really get into Discovery until Season 2, so I kind of missed the Season 1 steelbook, and I missed the Season 2 steelbook. So when Season 3 came out, where I'm like, you know, in it, I decided just to get the standard, because I was like, okay, the slipcover matches the fact I got the other 2 seasons on slipcover, right? So when I go to order Season 4, I'm thinking, all right, I'll just get the slipcover edition. So there's no slipcover. This is a problem. So on the actual Amazon listing and all the other retail listings for Season 4 Discovery, there's this image, which shows what I think to be a slipcover. This is, you know, similar to the images we saw for the previous seasons. And Star Trek Picard Season 2's standard release had a slipcover on its Blu-ray. So I had every reason to think that Discovery Season 4 would have the same. But considering the call out a bonus feature sticker is here on the actual wrapping on the Blu-ray, I don't think there's a slipcover. Also, because no one's received a slipcover with the standard edition of Season 4 Discovery. There is a slipcover in the UK from what I've heard, and that's it. This is like not a major issue because I still appreciate the fact that we got Season 4 Discovery on Blu-ray, but the image was misleading. The upcoming Star Trek Prodigy product image looks like it doesn't have a slipcover, and I'm not going to complain if it doesn't because it's what it looks like. This looked like it was going to have a slipcover like every other release has had so far, and I understand the money saving of not having to put out a piece of cardboard over a Blu-ray because it's not going to help it sell better, but if you did 3 seasons with slipcovers, do Season 4 with slipcover. You can start, you know, sort of cutting back in the future releases. So ultimately, I spent $39 on a Blu-ray that doesn't look like it matches my other Blu-rays. It just looks out of place because the CBS logo, and this is a little petty, but the CBS logo is all the way down here. So when I line it up to my other releases like Short Treks, like Lower Decks, which they didn't do a steelbook for Season 2 Lower Decks, but there's still a slipcover, and, you know, Picard, the CBS logo is kind of up here in this area, and then this one's just down here. It just doesn't look right. Like, I bought this at launch. I should have the nicest looking case possible, right? Again, this may be all like first world problems things, but you just keep following me here. So anyways, what I ended up doing was that I said, okay, fine. All right, I'm just going to buy a steelbook. But I didn't want to buy a steelbook because it was like $50. Anyways, the steelbook went on sale for $30. So here it is. This is a pretty nice cover too. What's really cool is like Burnham's braids are so long that they cover to the back. Pretty cool. Nice dynamic steelbook. You know, it's the same content, like the discs are the same as this one. I do like that they're not stacked discs. They put a little flippy thing in the middle, which is really nice. But the fun part was that this was lost in the mail for several days, and I ordered a replacement because I was like, I need this steelbook so I can make this video. And then I got the original and was able to cancel the replacement, and putting it on the shelf with not only, you know, the other shows, but Discovery specifically, it fits better. Because none of these quite match exactly, but at least I'd rather have a steelbook look than the plain bare case look. So that's what I did. Anyways, this release is going back to Amazon. I'm getting my money back because I actually ended up spending less on the steelbook overall. This was a headache. So anyways, going forward, I'm just going to order the steelbooks if they're an option and not expect the standard release to slipcovers. Paramount cheaped out on it a bit, and it kind of threw off a lot of collectors because I saw other people on Twitter, especially when I was complaining about it, they were like, yeah, that's kind of dumb. Because it is kind of dumb. Like, it should match the collection that's been going. All right, let's round out the year's Blu-rays with some anime. First, the non-Discotek stuff. Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a complete series Blu-ray box set, and considering I hadn't been picking up the show's individual seasons, I totally jumped on it. It also includes the 2 new OVAs, which aren't seemingly getting a separate release at the moment, which is a bummer if you already have those sets. But at $90, that's not bad for a complete show. So, yeah, stay tuned for that in the next video. But alongside my pre-order, I ordered the DVD of the movie and Eizo Hakusho. The movie for Yu Yu Hakusho takes place during the series. The second movie isn't included, just the first one. And then the Eizo Hakusho OVA series takes place after the show. And these aren't included in the Blu-ray set. I checked the contents. The Blu-ray set is just the main 4 seasons of the show, plus the 2 new OVAs. So this is just kind of a, hey, all right, they did an official release of these. It would be nice for them to put out Eizo and the movies on Blu-ray, but Eizo doesn't have a Blu-ray in Japan. The movies do. There may be some licensing issue, but hey, this goes with what's coming up to have a more complete Yu Yu Hakusho set. In the world of Gundam, which has slowed down because, you know, they've pretty much done everything, the Turn A Gundam movies did finally receive a Blu-ray release. I mentioned this way back. I was like, you know, I don't even like these movies, but I'd like them on Blu-ray so they look nice on a shelf. And you know what? It does. It does look nice on a shelf. I do not recommend these movies as a replacement for the series. It cuts too much of the story in my eyes. What's also pretty cool is that you get alternate artwork, and it's actually got spine text. So if you wanted to flip this and make this the cover, you totally could, which is pretty nifty. But yeah, you know, simple release. It's the 2 Turn A Gundam compilation movies in a Blu-ray set to match the other Blu-rays. And I picked it up on sale because I wasn't going to buy this at full price. I already bought the DVD version at full price. The other Gundam release that is relevant for me, there was releases of Seed and Seed Destiny for those that didn't get the Ultra editions. But for me, the only other release this year for Gundam pretty much, Gundam Build Divers ReRise. My absolute favorite build series, one of my favorite Gundam shows of all time. If you haven't had a chance to watch this show, I do recommend it. It's on YouTube. You can find it subbed and dubbed, I believe. But this Blu-ray set is awesome. It's the entire show, all 26 episodes, plus the Build Divers Batlog. It is English and Japanese audio, except for the Batlog. The Batlog is sub-only, and the discs are really nice because you got each of the main characters and their mobile suits on them. I've actually been rewatching the show now that I've got the Blu-ray. Visual audio quality is great. Subtitle quality is great. The dub's pretty good. I actually think the dub is honestly awesome. And then adding to that, it's got some of the special promotional videos, episode digests, clean openings, clean closings, everything you'd expect. Honestly, a pretty solid release. My only minor gripe with it is the spine. They put this image of the core Gundam that's fairly large on the side, which means when you put it next to Build Divers, it looks a little weird because the core Gundam's so huge instead of this little like rectangle. And if you put it next to the Build Fighters special disc and you notice that Build Divers has a bigger image, This is kind of in line with how a lot of the Gundam Blu-rays were with the small mobile suit image and the title here. And then Build Divers kind of broke it a little bit, and ReRise is just like, yeah, we want more dynamicism. I don't mind it because I love having all the Gundam on Blu-ray that we do because we have nearly everything. It's just a little bit weird how it kind of breaks the flow of the mobile suit thing. If you look at Turn A as well, Turn A is on the old system a little bit. They were all kind of close, but, you know, it's a little bit off. But the idea of mobile suit head name, it works. I like it. I like that the Sunrise logo is in the same place on all of them. But that's that. Now, the big thing that happened, for me at least, I waited till they went on sale, but here is sets 5, 6, 7, and 8 of Naruto. I love Naruto, but I already bought the show on DVD. I kind of pulled myself into the Blu-rays because I heard that they were actually good, and I had to see it for myself. And yeah, this is a terrific upscale. It's being done by Viz with supervision by Studio Pero. It's actually not being done in Japan, but Viz themselves doing this upscale. And it's not a full HD remaster of the show, but honestly, you really can't go wrong with this. It looks categorically better than the original DVD release of the series. It's got some bonus features, some extra things here and there, sub and dub for all the episodes, and it has this wonderful packaging art. I've talked about these in previous ones, I think, but essentially you're looking at it, 5 through 8 make up this cool scene where they're at the ramen shop together. It's all connected. And what's really awesome is, much like set 4 containing a poster with the complete artwork, set 8 here will also contain the poster. So the poster here is pretty much this. So you got, you know, Sasuke, Kakashi, Naruto, and Jiraiya, Sakura and Tsunade, and Gaara and Neji. So pretty cool. I like that the unique artwork is happening here. This is a really great upscale of the series. It looks better than it ever has, and honestly, I do recommend it if you are a Naruto fan. Now, the tricky part is that because the second half has, like, so much filler, there's like 80 episodes of filler here, and that's also why I picked it up on sale. Viz has done a great job to keep these in stock, because I've already bought this show before, and there's a lot of filler in here. There's a lot of filler across these. But yeah, they're about 27 episodes a set. You can get them for about 25 to 30 bucks a set on average. I'd say pick it up if you love Naruto. Also, for 220 episodes to only be taking this much shelf space, that's impressive. Now, will they go ahead and do Shippuden in the same style? Boy, I hope so, because even though I'm going to only watch Shippuden once, and I still haven't finished it, because 500 episodes is a lot, I will totally buy it because I think it'll look nice on a shelf, just like these do. Especially like the actual shuriken marking which set it is, and how we, from set 1, we knew it was going to be 8 volumes, because there's 1 through 8. So pretty cool. Really, really nice set. So to close out this year's Blu-ray hauls, let's talk Discotek. First of all, Flying Phantom Ship. This movie caught the eye of my dad, and that's how we picked it up. Haven't watched it yet. Like I said, been busy. There's also just been a ton of stuff releasing on streaming. It's hard to keep up with things these days. The Princess and the Pilot. This caught the eye of my mom, and yeah, we're going to watch this one too at some point. Especially now that the holiday season's over. It's going to be a lot easier to watch things. The Devilman Complete TV series, an excellent, I believe it's an upscale, but it looks really, really good. I never picked up the DVD release of this. Personally speaking, I'm a huge Devilman fan, but the original 70s anime is not my favorite adaptation because it goes for that more superhero style, and I've never really dived into watching every episode. I've only watched a few, so eventually I'm going to come around and probably watch all of this, especially because it looks really nice on this Blu-ray release, and yeah, definitely an upgrade, and I never picked up the DVDs, so hey, now it's in the collection. In the world of Lupin the Third, we have Dead or Alive, which was the 6th theatrical film from 1996. Another really, really nice release from Discotek. 2 different cover arts, all that good stuff. A ton of bonus features as per usual. I don't know how much I can say Discotek is probably the best at what they do, then before it just gets kind of crazy. I know this one was directed by the original Lupin creator, Monkey Punch, so that's a pretty great thing right there. Lupin the Third, Farewell to Nostradamus, which is the 5th theatrical film from 1995. This one's a pretty simple release because it's got, you know, just theatrical trailer and vintage credits collection, but it's got 2 different English dubs and the Japanese version. This one also doesn't have the alternate cover as much as it has the alternate poster similar to the TV specials, but pretty cool. I'm looking forward to watching this one as well. I have, you know, every Lupin Blu-ray, but I haven't watched all of them yet, and I just need to systematically start watching stuff because It's great. I also love the poster on here because everybody's in some kind of action here, which is really, really cool. Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan, the TV special. This was actually prior to the film, I believe, which was in a previous Blu-ray haul. At least it should have been. Pretty nice special. I haven't actually watched it yet because I was waiting for the special to come out to watch it and the movie. But honestly, once again, Discotek just doing the cool work that they do. Yeah, really do like Lupin the Third. I don't know as much about Detective Conan, but I look forward to seeing this crossover. We got Project A-ko 2 and Project A-ko 3. I haven't watched the first Project A-ko. I bought the first Project A-ko because of recommendations from friends, as well as the just insane amount of work they did finding the original film print for this. And the same kind of work has been done on 2 and 3, as well as 4. And at this point, I'm just going to wait till 4 comes out and then binge all 4 of them back to back. So I think that'll be super duper fun. They also look really, really nice on a shelf together, which is really great. Here's a panic buy. These moved to the no longer in print section on Right Stuff. Space Warrior Baldios and Baldios the movie. I really did want to watch Baldios, and it seemed like Discotek's license had expired or this was out of print. And so, yeah, I hadn't gone around to watching it on streaming, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump at it. Also, it comes in a cool black case, which I think is just neat. Especially because I don't see black cases for multi-disc sets usually. But anyways, this is a 34-episode anime. I look forward to seeing it. It's something that's caught my eye over the years. I need to watch more mecha anime that I've picked up. But, you know, at this point, I'm sort of mad dashing for, let me just get all the Blu-rays, and then I'll worry about watching them later. But yeah, Baldios the movie as well, which is, I believe, a sequel movie. Pretty nice release. It's got kind of the same art on the inside. But yeah, so those are 2 more. I was like, oh no, they're out of print. Quick, buy them. That's just how it goes. Here we have City Hunter, the complete first series. I've been seeing clips about City Hunter. I've seen stuff on City Hunter for years. I never took the dive. I took the dive. I really like City Hunter. Main character is one of those total idiots who gets really cool when he, you know, needs to kind of things. This is the original 51-episode series. There are more City Hunter sets. I've already got a couple on order. I've started watching it because I was like, all right, I need to make sure I like it before I go deep diving into the entire franchise. I like it. I like it a lot. So you'll probably see more City Hunter in the next Blu-ray haul. And our last Discotek release, Digimon Digital Monsters Season 1. This is all 54 episodes of the English dubbed version of Digimon Digital Monsters. This is absolutely amazing. This is one of the best releases I've ever seen in my entire life. The team worked really, really hard to get this to be the highest quality possible. It looks better than the Japanese Blu-ray release. It sounds better than any release you've seen prior. The actual restoration that's been done to this is incredible. This is one of the coolest things that I've ever experienced. As someone who's had previous DVD releases of Digimon, I've probably been wanting something like this forever, and it turned out even better than I thought it would. The actual discs contain Taichi with Agumon, Sora with Biyomon, Izzy with Tentomon, and TK with Patamon. And if you're wondering why that is, it's because there is a Japanese set coming later, and I assume that the other 4 kids will be on the other discs of the Japanese set. So if you're actually wondering, is this set good? Absolutely it is. Pick it up if you can. It's a pretty good deal. Now, if you do not like the English dub, or if you prefer the Japanese version, only want the Japanese version, go ahead and just wait for the Japanese one. It's coming. And yes, I know they spent and pulled their hair out and went miles to work on this and restore it and make it look like it was done yesterday. Like, it's incredibly, incredibly good. It doesn't look like any kind of previous version of this. It looks better than any release of the show before, and I'm not saying that lightly. This is just an incredible release, and if they get to do all of Digimon, I would probably cry more than I did when I first put this Blu-ray in, especially because I see, you know, things like Season 1, the original Digivice, episodes 1 to 54, English language version, Digimon Digital Monsters, Tai and Agumon. I can just imagine, like, Davis and Vmon with the D3 there, with the episode count saying Season 2, and then Takato and Guillemot. I can see the vision. This, I think, sold incredibly well. I will be picking up the Japanese version as well. I will get both versions of everything they put out. I'm hoping they get to do a lot because I really, really love this release, and yeah, just absolutely impressive stuff. So that does it for my Q4 2022 Blu-ray haul for September through December. I normally do 3 months, not 4. That's just how this worked out with the other video schedules. There will be another one of these in March of 2023. So thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. I know there's a ton here. If you have any further questions about any of these releases, let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on future Blu-ray videos. And let me know in the comments if you want to see a full video on the Digimon release. I'm thinking about it. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do it yet. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. Also be sure to check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Soundout12 and my live streams Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern, where next week I will be talking about my top 10 Blu-rays of 2022, among other things. Also be sure to check out Hero Club at hero-club.com for interviews, news, and more, and my awesome graphic designer on Twitter at darkclaw643. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, see you next year.